Mish, let me start with you on some of your reporting. We know access to abortion pills remains legal after the Supreme Court this week sent the issue back to a lower court. But the White House is making the point that this issue is not done. You have new reporting for us on the Biden campaign's plans to lean into the topic of reproductive rights. What can you tell us?
That's right. I got exclusive details on what really is going to be a robust messaging campaign by the Biden campaign to really focus on abortion. They see this as a uniquely mobilizing issue. So they're going to be holding something like 30 events, more than 30 events in battleground cities across this country. And they're going to be making the case that really Joe Biden is the one that's going to keep women safe, and that former President Donald Trump put a number of women in danger because he was the one who nominated these justices who overturned Roe v. Wade. And they're also going to be rolling out a number of different things, including ads featuring women telling personal stories. I actually talked to one of the women who's going to be part of this, Caitlin Cash. She lives in Austin, Texas, and she had to flee the state of Texas to get an abortion after she learned at 13 weeks that the fetus she was carrying had a fatal birth defect. She tells me that she's going to be wanting to empower women because
at this point, it sounds like we have 9, maybe 10 victims, GSW gunshot wound victims. We believe we have an individual who is a suspect contained nearby, so that if you're sheltering in place in the parks, I think it's okay for you to go home. We'd ask people to stay out of the area, though. If they're sheltering in place somewhere nearby, if they're going to leave the area.
Donald Trump slamming Biden's economic record in Michigan. He's promising voters in the key swing state that he's going to turn things around from Biden's failed policies that are hurting their wallet.
Low IQ Joe Biden's insane electric vehicle mandate will totally obliterate the U.S. auto industry, and it won't take long. We stand on the shoulders of red-blooded Michigan patriots who laid the railroads, worked the factories, tilled the fields, forged the steel. We're going to bring back your auto industry at a level greater than it was 30 years ago.
Sunday Morning Futures anchor Maria Bartiromo joins us now. It was a fiery speech, Maria. I think he also name-checked the auto union boss, saying he's not standing with the workers, he's standing with Joe Biden, and that's not helping the industry.
Yeah, good morning to you, Rach, and happy Father's Day to everyone. I've got my father's army tags on to remember my sweet, wonderful, courageous Vincent, my dad. In any event, you're right, it was an aggressive speech, and he went to Michigan to pinpoint the auto industry. But, you know, it's not just about the auto industry. On the auto industry, Michigan was Motor City at one time. It was the place for the auto industry. There were jobs, there was euphoria, there was strength around building big cars and trucks for America. It's no longer seen that way because this administration's EV push has the unions believing that there will need fewer and fewer jobs to make an electric vehicle with all of the parts coming from China. So there's been a real change and a pivot. Suddenly, Michigan becomes a swing state. Suddenly, black voters become swing voters. I'll tell you, Rach, I think the Democrats are really nervous, panicked beyond desperate. Because what is President Trump doing? He's going in all of these blue cities and states, and he's getting crowds, he's getting support, and suddenly everyone's questioning, well, wait a minute, maybe the Biden administration is saying I shouldn't go to the swing states. I need to go to states that have long been Democrat states because they may be turning into swing states. That's what we're seeing this morning. We've got less than 2 weeks before the big debate. The election is all that anyone's talking about, and most people understand Trump is winning right now. And so that's what we're focused on this morning. We're gonna talk about that with Dr. Ben Carson, what he's seeing in the black community. He stood tall when President Trump was arrested and convicted. He said, I am proud to stand tall with my friend Donald Trump, because he said that the whole trial was a sham. We're going to talk about that. We're also talking with Kellyanne Conway about the race. But we're leading the show with the Republicans fighting back, fighting Biden's agenda and fighting Biden's weaponized government. We've got senators on the Republican Party right now who are saying we're not going to fast track any more Biden nominees until after the election. Why? Because of the lawfare against President Trump. We'll speak with Senator Cruz on that, as well as Senator Schmidt. We're also talking with, from the House, Representative Anna Paulina Luna, because she's questioning whether or not Joe Biden even makes it to the election. He may be pushed to withdraw, and all of this is on the world stage, watching the capacity issues of Joe Biden. That's a national security issue. Victoria Coates taking that on, coming up in about 10 minutes' time. We've got a big show, Rach.
You sure do. We'll be tuning in for that, Maria. Thanks for joining us this morning, always.
Thank you.
You got it.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.
Haiti is the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. And for kids growing up in its orphanages, finding a new home can take a long time. 25 American families are struggling to bring their adopted children home. Dozens are stuck in Haiti amid the chaos and political chaos there as well. And their parents say the State Department isn't helping them. Here's early today's RoeVWade with more.
What is happening in Haiti, and why are your children stuck there?
Basically, right now, it's chaos in Haiti.
We do know that the violence is really increasing. We also noticed that there is the worry about food shortages.
So then when we did get that email from the Department of State on March 22nd saying, hey, we're going to work at getting all of these kids with Article 5 and adoption decrees home to their families, it was like we thought we got the miracle that we were waiting for.
And then on April 12th, they said, we are no longer moving forward with getting your children out of Haiti. You'll have to continue the adoption process and complete it in Haiti before your child can come home.
What is the State Department currently saying to your family?
The thing that we have been told by them repeatedly on calls is that they cannot find a legal pathway to citizenship for children coming to America on emergency humanitarian parole.
That's why we have hired adoption immigration lawyers.
Our lawyers say is not an issue and that it shouldn't be an issue.
And they are all saying there are multiple pathways to getting citizenship for these children.
As the attorney who are representing these families, what action can the State Department take?
They should be able to get them home via humanitarian parole, and there are legal avenues to finish the process while the children are here. It is the U.S.'s responsibility to help these children.
Hopefully those families can be reunited. Our thanks to Freeland Pierre-Louis for that report.
What do you think the significance of that moment is where Jeremy Strong is addressing the audience as the community members, all of us, and saying at least we won't have to deal with this in America?
When he says that line, in America we won't have to deal with this, which he really says after they've basically beat him up and vandalized his house, people applaud when they hear that line. You know, we looked at, during rehearsal, videos from January 6. I mean, that you know, the violence that happens in our play, you know, we made a direct parallel to what happened, because there's misinformation and there's manipulation of, listen, people, attacked the Capitol based on absolute lies. That was confirmed by pretty much every, judge and, expert and everybody. Lies and lust for power, and people were hurt and people died as a result of that.
So you watched January 6th video to prepare for what is, frankly, one of the toughest scenes in the entire play, which is when your brother in the play is getting physically assaulted. Why was that important to go back to January 6th?
It's just something we were talking about,